The Battle of Cannae, fought on August 2nd, 216 BCE, stands as one of the most brilliant military engagements in history, showcasing the strategic genius of Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general, against the might of the Roman Republic. This battle, during the Second Punic War, not only highlighted the tactical innovations of Hannibal, but also marked a catastrophic defeat for Rome, leaving a profound impact on the Roman psyche and military tactics for generations to come. The Second Punic War was one of three major conflicts between Rome and Carthage, two dominant powers in the Mediterranean region. The First Punic War, which ended in 241 BCE, resulted in Rome gaining control over Sicily, while Carthage expanded its influence in Spain under the leadership of the Barca family. Hannibal, the son of the Carthaginian general Hamilcar Barca, inherited a deep-seated animosity toward Rome and vowed to continue his father's fight. In 218 BCE, Hannibal initiated the Second Punic War by leading a daring march from Spain to Italy, famously crossing the Alps with his army, which included war elephants. This audacious move caught the Romans off guard and allowed Hannibal to establish a foothold in Italy. Over the next 2 years, Hannibal achieved a series of victories against the Roman legions, including the battles of Trebia and Lake Trasimene, inflicting heavy losses and demonstrating his mastery of battlefield tactics. These victories shook the Roman military's confidence and posed a direct threat to the Republic. The Roman Senate, desperate to end Hannibal's advance, decided to raise an unprecedented army to confront him. The consuls for the year 216 BCE, Gaius Terentius Varro and Lucius Aemilius Paulus, were entrusted with command of this massive force, which numbered approximately 80,000 infantry and 6,000 cavalry, making it one of the largest armies ever fielded by Rome at that time. The Roman strategy was straightforward. They intended to use their superior numbers to crush Hannibal in a pitched battle, leveraging their strength in infantry and sheer weight of numbers. Hannibal, aware of the Roman plans and recognizing the strengths and weaknesses of his own forces, devised a bold and unconventional strategy to counter the Roman advantage. His army, composed of about 40,000 infantry and 10,000 cavalry, included a diverse mix of troops from various regions, including seasoned Libyan infantry, fierce Iberian and Gallic warriors, and highly skilled Numidian cavalry. Despite being outnumbered, Hannibal's forces were experienced and well-disciplined, having fought alongside him through multiple campaigns. Hannibal's plan for the battle relied on a combination of strategic deception and tactical envelopment, intending to trap and annihilate the Roman legions. The battlefield of Cannae, a flat plain near the Aufidus River in southeastern Italy, provided the ideal setting for Hannibal's scheme. On the morning of August 2nd, 216 BCE, the two armies faced each other. The Romans, under the command of Varro, positioned themselves in a traditional deep formation, eager to engage Hannibal's forces head-on and use their superior infantry numbers to overwhelm the Carthaginians. In contrast, Hannibal arranged his troops in an unconventional crescent-shaped formation, with the center comprising his Gallic and Iberian infantry, intentionally positioned to be weaker and more flexible than the flanks. As the battle commenced, the Roman legions advanced in their typical aggressive fashion, eager to break through the Carthaginian center. Hannibal's central line, as planned, began to yield under the pressure, slowly pulling back in a controlled manner. This tactical retreat created a concave formation that drew the Romans further in, eager to exploit what they perceived as a breach in the enemy lines. As the Romans pressed forward into the center, Hannibal's Libyan infantry, stationed on the flanks, began to pivot inward, executing a pincer movement that enveloped the Roman forces. Simultaneously, the Carthaginian cavalry, led by Hannibal's brother Hasdrubal, achieved a decisive victory over the Roman cavalry, gaining control of the battlefield's flanks. After defeating the Roman cavalry, the Carthaginian horsemen turned and attacked the Roman infantry from behind, completing the encirclement. The Romans, now trapped in a tightening ring of Carthaginian forces, found themselves in a disastrous situation. The densely packed Roman formation, which initially sought to use its weight and numbers as an advantage, became a liability as the soldiers struggled to maneuver and fight effectively. The Carthaginians, benefiting from their flexible formation and superior cavalry tactics, pressed the attack from all sides, causing chaos and confusion within the Roman ranks. The once formidable Roman legions were transformed into a chaotic mass, unable to escape or effectively counter the multi-directional assault. The resulting carnage was unprecedented. Roman soldiers were cut down in droves, with estimates suggesting that as many as 50,000 to 70,000 Roman troops perished in the battle, including many high-ranking officers and one of the consuls, Lucius Aemilius Paulus. The Carthaginian losses were comparatively light, a testament to Hannibal's strategic brilliance and the effectiveness of his tactics. The Battle of Cannae was not only a catastrophic military defeat for Rome, but also a psychological one. The sheer scale of the loss and the devastation wrought upon the Roman army left the Republic in shock and panic. In the aftermath, many of Rome's allies in southern Italy defected to Hannibal, believing that the tide had turned in favor of Carthage. However, despite the temptation to march directly on Rome, Hannibal chose not to besiege the city, recognizing the formidable defenses and the risk of overextending his forces. The Roman response to the disaster at Cannae was one of resilience and determination. Instead of capitulating, Rome resolved to rebuild its military strength and adapt its tactics. The Senate, acknowledging the limitations of direct confrontation with Hannibal, shifted its strategy to one of attrition, avoiding large-scale battles and focusing on cutting off Hannibal's supply lines and retaking key strongholds. This strategic shift marked the beginning of a prolonged and arduous campaign that would eventually turn the tide of the war in Rome's favor. The lessons learned from Cannae profoundly influenced Roman military doctrine, leading to reforms in training, leadership, and tactical flexibility that will contribute to Rome's eventual dominance in the Mediterranean world. Hannibal's victory at Cannae, despite its brilliance, ultimately failed to deliver a decisive blow to the Roman Republic. The refusal of Rome to surrender, combined with its vast resources and ability to replenish its armies, proved crucial in the long struggle against Carthage. The war would continue for another 14 years, culminating in the Roman victory at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE, where the Roman general Scipio Africanus, employing tactics learned from Hannibal himself, defeated the Carthaginian forces and secured Rome's supremacy. The Battle of Cannae remains a testament to Hannibal's genius and a study in military strategy and tactics. It exemplifies the potential for innovative thinking to overcome numerical disadvantages and the importance of adaptability in warfare. The battle's legacy has endured through the ages, serving as a source of inspiration and analysis for military leaders and historians alike. Its lessons continue to resonate, reminding us of the complex interplay of strategy, leadership, and the human element in the conduct of war.